Once upon a time, in a beautiful African land with tall grass and warm winds, there lived a queen named Adaeze. She was very kind and wise. Queen Adaeze had two sons, Kofi and Kwame, whom she loved very much. One day, while walking through the grasslands, Queen Adaeze found a lost boy. He was scared and alone. Feeling sorry for him, Queen Adaeze picked him up and brought him home. She named him Chike and treated him like her own son. Chike grew up with Kofi and Kwame. They became like brothers. They explored the land together, playing and laughing under the bright African sun. Queen Adaeze watched over them with love, happy to have three sons to care for. In their kingdom, everyone lived peacefully, and the future seemed bright. And so, the story of Queen Adaeze and her sons began, filled with love and kindness. As time passed, Chike grew up with Prince Kofi and Prince Kwame. They played together every day, exploring the kingdom and having fun. Queen Adaeze watched them with happiness, treating them all like her own children. Chike felt like a true brother to Kofi and Kwame. They shared everything and had many adventures together, like climbing trees, chasing animals, and swimming in the river. But as they got older, Chike started feeling jealous. He wanted to be as important as his brothers, who were going to be kings someday. Even though he tried to ignore these feelings, they grew inside him like a weed in the garden. Despite his jealousy, Chike loved his brothers and didn't want to hurt them. But the darkness inside him was getting stronger, and he didn't know how to stop it. And so, their once happy friendship began to change, overshadowed by Chike's growing envy. As Chike got older, he started feeling jealous of his brothers, Kofi and Kwame. They were going to be kings someday, and everyone admired them. Chike wanted people to admire him too. No matter how much he tried, Chike couldn't shake off his jealousy. It grew inside him, making him feel unhappy and left out. He wished he could be as important as his brothers. As time passed, Chike's jealousy turned into anger. He started seeing his brothers as his rivals instead of his friends. And this anger led him to make a decision that would change everything, but not in a good way. Late one night, while everyone was asleep, Chike's jealousy turned into a dangerous plan. He quietly sneaked into his brother's room with a sharp knife hidden in his cloak. Seeing them peacefully sleeping made him hesitate for a moment, but his envy was too strong. He couldn't stand the thought of his brothers being more important than him. With a heavy heart, Chike made a terrible decision. He used the knife to hurt his sleeping brothers. The sound of his betrayal echoed through the palace, waking everyone up to a horrifying scene. When the morning came, the kingdom was in shock. Chike had done something unforgivable, and he knew he could never undo the damage he had caused. He fled into the wilderness, leaving behind a family torn apart by his jealousy and betrayal. When morning came, everyone in the kingdom heard about what happened to the princess. People couldn't believe it. They talked quietly about how Chike, the boy who was once loved like a brother, had done something terrible. In the market and around the village, people whispered about Chike's betrayal. They were scared and didn't know who to trust anymore. In the palace, where there used to be happiness, sadness filled the air. Servants talked quietly, not sure who they could trust. Queen Adaeze was heartbroken. She couldn't understand how Chike, who she had cared for like her own son, could do such a thing. Tears streamed down her face as she mourned the loss of her sons and the betrayal of the boy she once loved. But even in the midst of sadness and confusion, people hoped that justice would come. They believed that the truth would come out and that somehow they would find a way to heal from the pain and betrayal they had suffered. Queen Adaeze couldn't bear the pain of losing her sons and the betrayal of Chike. She wanted to find out the truth, so she asked the wise elders of the kingdom to help uncover what happened. Gathered under the big tree in the village, Queen Adaeze told everyone about the sad events. People listened quietly as witnesses shared what they knew. Everyone felt the weight of sadness and the loss in the air. As the trials went on, it became clear that Chike had done something very wrong. He couldn't deny it anymore and admitted to what he had done. Tears streamed down his face as he asked for forgiveness. Even though the truth came out and justice was served, the pain didn't go away. The kingdom mourned for the princes they had lost and struggled to heal from the betrayal they had suffered. When Chike confessed his actions, the kingdom fell silent. Queen Adaeze felt a mix of sadness and disbelief. She knew she had to address the people, thanking them for their support during this hard time. But even after Chike's confession, things didn't feel right. The kingdom was still hurting, and the wounds of betrayal ran deep. It would take time for everyone to heal. As days passed, the kingdom tried to move forward. They promised to always remember Prince Kofi and Prince Kwame. Even though it was hard, they knew they could get through it together. After Chike confessed, Queen Adaeze couldn't forgive him for what he did. With a heavy heart, he decided to send him away from the kingdom. The elders agreed, thinking it was best for everyone. Chike was led away by the guards, feeling ashamed and sad. He looked back at the kingdom one last time before disappearing into the night. Even though Chike was gone, the kingdom still felt the pain of what happened, but they promised to always remember Prince Kofi and Prince Kwame. They knew they could get through it together, honoring the memory of their lost princes and finding the strength in each other.